I want to see the language come back to what it was when I was young. I want to see my community exist like it did when I was young, you know?
Acadiana and Lafayette is teeming with creative people, and it's such a place for makers, like people that have ideas, that want to generate something new, and kind of want to be a little bit in the weeds with it. I feel like the resources here are plenty, and sometimes where Basin Arts really finds we can serve a need is just helping artists to kind of focus that teeming creative energy and giving them a little bit of structure or some timelines or deadlines or funding, so that endless creativity that is so innate to all of us can kind of be fostered and nurtured towards a process that has, is complete, and so more people can witness the product or the creativity inside of what we're all doing. We have residency studio spaces, so local visual artists can have a workspace here, and we work to keep it really affordable and accessible. And we also have a program called the Bare Walls program, which is something we're really proud of. It places local visual art in local business spaces. This is a model where the businesses pay a subscription, and every time an artist has their work up, they get residual income from displaying their work, but at the same time, the work could be sold as well. So since we've started that program over the last 4 years, we've been able to pay $50,000 out to local artists. I feel so renewed and inspired by our mission to serve artists. And so I feel like what we are really focusing on, and what you'll see from Basin in sort of this next chapter, is just digging deeper in artist support, artist resources, artist opportunities that make our local artist community feel elevated, feel more professional, feel more seen, more inspired.
Tele Louisiana is a multimedia production company and platform, and we do everything in our power to document, preserve, and promote Louisiana culture with the help of locals, natives. So all of our staff is local, native Louisianians, and we do our best to share our stories from our perspective. For us, we use language as our main pathway of sharing these stories, but we make it a point to make the platform openly accessible for as many people as possible. So we do productions in French, Creole French, and English. We try to make it for everybody, but definitely the language is a huge focus point and our main way of tying everything together, so to say. Within the past 2 years, we secured a partnership with multiple platforms to expand our distribution and the people that we reach, but LPB was one of the huge ones that we're really excited about. We celebrate Louisiana French, and we also celebrate Louisiana culture, because we understand and we give grace to people that don't speak French, and maybe didn't grow up in French immersion, or maybe their parents didn't speak French, but their grandparents, everybody's upbringing is different, and we can't assume that everybody has the same opportunities as us. I was blessed, and it worked out in my favor, and I continue to do things and put things in place to hope that it still works out in my favor. And all we could do is that me as a young Black person in South Louisiana, being able to work for myself and simultaneously being able to preserve and promote my culture was true to me, is such a feat in itself, and something that's so rewarding. When you talk about rich and what rich is, that makes me feel the ultimate amount of richness in my spirit and my mind, because I'm able to do that.
I look at it if we're going to keep the culture going, you got to keep doing what the people was doing. You learn your old music, you learn your roots, you honor that, you cherish it. But at the same time, when you listen to the old people, when you listen to Nathan Abshock, if you listen to Dewey Boffa coming out with this, if you listen to Canary playing Bernadette, he wasn't playing something that his grandfather was playing. He was playing what he felt that day. He was playing about his life, about his day working out in that rice field. And to me, it's important to continue that. Tell the stories of your life, your feelings. Don't just If you put it in a museum, it's gonna stay in a museum. If you expect it to go somewhere, you gotta keep creating. You gotta keep moving forward, keep producing. When they ask, oh, well, is it Cajun music? Is it Creole music? And this and that. Yeah. Well, why? Because it don't sound like that. Well, because I made it. Because it's me. Because you look at them old songs and what made it Cajun music, what made it Creole music back then. It's who did it, huh? So no matter what I do, it don't make a damn what I do. That's what it's gonna be. But to me, it's important to preserve that language. That language is a representation of the culture. That language is what made us who we are. It's easy to make an excuse. Easy to say, it's not my fault. The language was taken from us. They took that from our people. And they did. No doubt they did. But I could sit today and I could dwell on what happened in the past. But if you're letting that dictate your future, well, that's on you. I was born and raised poor as hell. If I die poor, that's on me. You got a choice every single day on how you're gonna live today. What you gonna do today. What happened in the past is the past. And I refuse to let it dictate my future.
We're such a community of people that are figuring things out based upon our Cajun and Creole culture, based upon just people in the South, especially artists in this region. You kind of have to be scrappy, but at the same time, you understand that you're in a place that is innately creative, so it's that exchange. And so I feel like it's a matter of just understanding and like observing and appreciating the natural beauty, the immersiveness of our culture, and sort of like figuring out how to make within that space.
This story, this culture is still being talked about because of what those young guys are doing. And also because of what the old school folks did. If we want this to survive and for a long time and past our lifetimes, we gotta let everybody do their part. The young, the old, and everything in between, So I support it all.
I'd like my children to come up and have a happy life. I'd like to see our culture survive. I'd like to see our language survive. I'd like them to have the memories you and I have. Other than that, I don't know. That's about it.